Hello and welcome to the Ben on Beer Show for October 26, 2012. This is a show about beer, homebrewing, craft beer people, and whatever Donovan throws into the mix.
Whatever I throw into the mix.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. I like that.
I'm your host, Ben Rayberg, and this...
I'm Donovan Adkisson with the Narrow Media.
So what's the last beer you drank?
It was the Guinness Black Lager.
Guinness Black Lager.
Yeah, went to the local, not even a package store, just a little convenience store right down the way, and picked up 2 6-packs. And my oldest son, who actually happens to like that particular beer, said that it actually tastes better as it warms up, that it's not a very good beer when it's cold.
Well, that's craft beer. It tastes better as it gets warmer, whereas our friends who make that lager stuff that they put on TV a lot, as it gets warm, it tastes more like it came out of a body rather than...
Well, you know, whenever you want water to be cold. So that's essentially what you're drinking.
Yeah, I guess.
You know, warm water, tap water is not good.
Yeah.
Generally.
Yeah. Well, the Great American Beer Festival was last week. Yeah. And of all things, I would imagine that craft beer would dominate every possible category, but the Miller Lite came home with a gold medal in the American Light Pilsner Lager category or something like that. I guess craft beer doesn't really want to make something like that. You know, that they don't think that that's the, the way beer should be. But I guess of the shitty beers, Miller Lite is the shittiest. I mean, best.
I was going to say. Best.
Yeah.
Out of the shitty beers, it's the best of the shitty.
It's the shittiest. I mean...
Least shitty.
Least shit. How do you crown the I don't know.
I'm not sure. I'm having difficulty with that one. We'll figure it out.
But I can't talk about the Great American Beer Festival. I wasn't there. Apparently, half the people I'm following on Twitter were there. They got all those cool invites and.
Well, yours will come next year.
Yeah, maybe when I'm making a living with the show. Nah. Any more shows like this one, it's going to be over in a heartbeat. I guess I should start my prolific apology for last show, or what should have been last show. I was told that I had to be at the doctor, and when it comes to doctor's appointments, you really aren't given much leeway in scheduling, and I don't teach classes on Fridays, so that was kind of it. They ended up rescheduling that appointment.
You didn't even do it that day?
I didn't even do it that day. But then when I found out it was too late to write the show, as I do every Friday, I just pull it right out of my butt. So instead, we went to Tallahassee. And I visited a homebrew store called Homebrew Den. And I've been there online, and I called them, and I got my ingredients list. And I've been wanting to go, so I picked Friday. I figured, well, I'm not doing a beer show, so
might as well do something.
Might as well do some beer.
Yeah.
I got my ingredients. I had 2 pumpkins ready to go. And Saturday, what day was that? The 18th? Somewhere around there. Somebody look it up. Anyway,
yeah, somebody look it up.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Tomorrow. I brewed the first batch of 2012, which was a pumpkin ale. The John Larson, he's the co-owner of Homebrew Den, co-founder, and he was great. I tell you, beer people are cool. He was so unassuming. You know, you get in the computer field and everybody's an asshole.
No shit.
And, yeah. You know, you get your chops and then you just blast the newbie, right? Well, that's not that way in homebrewing.
What do you mean you don't know? You know,
What? It's just as simple as, you know, moving services over to the
my
server
2-year-old knows how to run in and out of Windows 8 already, and it was just released today. You know, what the hell is your problem? Get it on the network now.
You know, if you don't have an iPhone, you're just
Well, yeah.
out of luck. I can't help you.
Why do you want to be one of those people?
But homebrew people are awesome. We actually went next door to the homebrew store, and it's a pizza joint. Apparently, it's been there 11 years, called Momo's Pizza. And this is at the very end of my notes. I shouldn't even be talking about it. It's a brew pub right next to the homebrew store.
In Tallahassee?
Which is very convenient.
Nice.
And while I was there, it was awesome pizza, by the way. While I was there, I asked if I could see the brewery.
Mm-hmm.
And the waitress said, yeah, let me talk to my boss. And so the boss comes over, and I figured he's just a manager or something. No, he's the owner, and he's waiting tables.
Hey.
So he takes me back, and we look at what once was a kitchen, and they just kind of moved, I think, 7-barrel equipment in, and it's just sitting there on the floor.
Did you get any pictures?
No, it wasn't a lot of time, and it's not set up as a, like, I don't know, what I imagine the brewery would be, but it works. He's got, you know, about 4 large pieces of equipment, a mash tun, a big kettle, a fermenter, and a strike water pot, but it's just huge stuff. 7 barrels, I think, is what it's about. 215 gallons, roughly.
Hey, if it works, it works.
And it works. I had the Hop Harvest IPA. It was magnificent. It was good. Good stuff. I couldn't have more than one because I was driving, you know, I had the whole family with me and all that. So, but it was good. I would highly recommend Momo's Pizza. And I think it's Momo's Pizza and Brew Pub or something like that.
Momo's.
They've been there like 11 or 12 years, and they've just added the brewery a year ago. So, and it turns out John from Homebrew Den is the brewmaster. So he obviously knows what he's doing.
Obviously. Just don't get it confused with Moo-Moos.
That's where you buy a one-piece mighty. But he was really cool. I had this recipe that I had I've looked at 3 different recipes, and you can read all about the what I've chosen in the pumpkin ale post. But I had this recipe built from 3 different recipes. One used canned pumpkin, the other 2 used raw pumpkin, and some used this and that. But I picked out a malt extract and some grains to steep, and the hops, the amount of pumpkin, and all that stuff. And I went in there and I had this recipe, and he goes, well, you can do a partial mash and swap. You know, we always sell the 3-pound, sell the malt extract in 3-pound bags. So if you want 4.8 pounds, you could buy 2 and split some, or you can just buy 3 pounds and add more.
So he was very
two-row malt.
He was very helpful.
And he told me exactly what I needed. And
Wow.
just did it up for me, crushed the grains, and said you need to do this at 145 and 155 degrees for an hour. And I ended up doing a partial mash. I had no idea that I could.
A monster mash?
We did a monster mash. No, it was just a partial mash.
Okay, just a partial. Could have been a partial monster mash.
Yeah. So Saturday I got up, got everything out, and did it. They had I roasted the pumpkin, and I would do that differently now. Although it tastes great, but I think I'll do it a little bit differently next time. That took about an hour and a half. And then we did the mash. I roasted the pumpkin and put it in with the mash. That took about an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did the boil for about an hour.
So we're up to 3 hours.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
that's why they call it brew day, and not not
brew.
like cooking dinner. It's
You don't get started at 5.
Yeah, no, it's more like barbecuing ribs rather than whipping up grilled cheese.
Grilled cheese. Barbecue ribs.
Anyway, I
Pizza.
got it in the fermenter. Tried to keep it as cool as possible for right at a week. Moved it to a secondary fermenter, which I use a better bottle, which is a big plastic bottle, kind of like the returnable 5-gallon water things you put in a cooler.
Yep.
Just like that. Except this one's 6 gallons, and it's made for beer. When I moved it to the secondary, it was pretty much done. I mean, the yeast I used was White Labs California Ale, and I read all about it. And some people had fermented it completely in 8-9 days, whereas typically I would ferment for 7 days in a primary, 7 more in a secondary, and then bottle. But this was done, and I think at 10 days I finally bottled. So the pictures are up on the website, and you can see the labels on each bottle cap that I put there.
So when's the first time you're going to actually taste it?
Interestingly enough, I got sick, and now I can't drink beer.
Which is the reason why this is over here on my side.
The one beer is only over there. I don't know when I'm going to get to drink beer again. I may end up sending it to a fellow brewer or, and have their review. Although I do want to taste it. If it's complete shit, I don't want to send it off and go, hey, how'd you like it, man? It's pretty good, huh?
Well, I think you'll be able to, take a few sips or
when
something.
I took the Final Gravity, I had some, and it was, it was like 72 degrees or whatever. It was pretty hoppy, but of course the hop character really comes out when it gets warm. So I think it's going to be decent, as long as I didn't screw something up during the bottling. But they were all brand new bottles. I sanitized them, and I boiled the bottle caps, so I don't think I introduced anything else to the beer. By my calculations, the beer was 4.3% alcohol. According to the recipe, it should have been a 5.6 or 6.0. I think I didn't boil the pumpkin. I mashed it. It should have extracted the sugars. I pulled it out, and we did the boil. One or two of the recipes call to just leave it in there and boil the pumpkin. That way it really becomes the fermentable. So that would have been a much heavier and would have probably made a much bigger mess. But
that's the fun part, though.
But it would have produced more alcohol.
Right.
Been much heavier.
Right.
And probably would have lent a whole lot more pumpkin flavor to the beer. But we'll see. I mean, when I cooled off the wort, I took a sniff and it smelled just like pumpkin pie. It's really neat.
Oh, I love pumpkin pie.
So, and you can still smell the spices. So that's helpful. It didn't get any really strange flavor to it. It's encouraging. It being the first beer that I've made in at least 2 years.
Right.
We'll see.
Well, you got me beat. I've never made any. I just drink it.
And again, this is batch 21. I didn't realize I've already made 20 batches of beer.
Really?
I think I started in 2008. Again, I got to look at the log, but I found my log, and that was batch number 21. I didn't drink every batch because some of them I got in a hurry and this and that. Anyway, what's next? We don't have a beer of the month. I hate to admit that.
No, but we do.
I would like some help finding a beer of the month. That'd be neat. So let's have a taste of this Imperial Pumpkin Ale. I've been trying to try every pumpkin ale I can come across.
Yep.
And this is one of them. My wife found this Weyerbacher Imperial Pumpkin Ale made this year.
Hmm.
It is pretty heavy. It's got some spices to it. I got it along with Terrapin's Pumpkin Fest, which is a pumpkin beer crossed or made in the Oktoberfest style. And it's a little too hoppy for my liking of a pumpkin beer, but it's not made strictly as a pumpkin ale. This is, and it's really pretty heavy.
Have you smelled it?
Oh, I had the other three.
You had the other three?
Yeah. I haven't got to drink since Monday night, I think.
That is pumpkin-y.
Pumpkin-y, yes.
Yeah.
They probably boiled the pumpkin.
See, I've had the Blue Moon Harvest or Pumpkin Harvest or whatever, and I mean it's decent, but it does not smell anything like this.
You get that smell. I did not give it a good review.
Really?
I did a review post a couple of weeks ago, and I got to say I didn't like it.
Well, our comrade in arms, if you will, Randy Meadows of Ranjack and all, he had it, I think, last weekend and said he really likes it. But
well, he needs to maybe try this.
Yeah, I know.
The aroma really comes back out in you,
Mm-hmm.
in your palate.
That is good.
It is good. They go down really, really fast.
I can imagine.
It is really smooth. Doesn't bite a whole lot.
I was kind of when it first hit my tongue, I was thinking, "Oh God, this is going to be bitter."
Mm-hmm.
But it's just that initial shock, and then no, it's not. So
I do like it.
And where did you get this from? Is it from the?
I think we got it at 5 Points.
Down in Valdosta?
Valdosta, yeah.
Yeah, because I doubt this is probably something that Publix wouldn't carry.
I don't think so. I did see a couple of pumpkin beers at Publix this week. No, I did not see Sam Adams pumpkin ale since I got it there.
Yeah, I told my wife that probably and it might even do it this weekend, but she wants a bottle of sake, a sake. And I told her I was thinking actually about getting one of those, and you know exactly what I'm talking about because you described it to me before, but when I saw it, but it's one of these, like, I guess for lack of a better way of saying it, it's a kit, but it's got like Fat Tire in it and then something else and then something else. It's like a variety.
It's like a brewer's special or a
it's a variety
select.
pack. Yeah. I was thinking about buying one of those. Because as we've talked about before, you can build your own six-pack. But I was like, nah, let me just get one of these. And
is it the one from New Belgium or Sam Adams had one too?
It had Fat Tire in it.
Okay, so it's New Belgium.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably got, if it's a seasonal collection, it's probably got, well, obviously Fat Tire. That's their flagship. Red Hoptober.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think their Snow Day is out yet. That's the winter ale. I want to say they made a pumpkin ale, but I don't remember what it's called.
Well, I'm not sure what they have right now because when I saw it was right after they opened, so it was whatever they had right then.
Oh, okay.
It seemed like it was either in a brown cardboard container or maybe a gray. It's memory gone. More than 3 days.
But yeah, I missed apparently Dogfish Head's pumpkin. They make I guess their pumpkin ale is popular.
Mm.
The first time I had it, probably 3 years ago, I didn't really like it, but I didn't know what I was looking for, so I wanted to have it again, and Beth said she asked for it, but they said we sold out like the second day we had it. People pre-ordered that. Like there was a sign-up list for.
And this was which
pumpkin. pumpkin ale, or pumpkin from Dogfish Head.
Dogfish Head, okay.
So I guess I might just go ahead and put my name on the list for next year's
Maybe.
shipment of pumpkin.
You probably should.
Yeah. Again, pumpkin ale is becoming so much more of a thing for seasonal or seasonal beer, really.
Yeah,
From craft breweries, you'll get they've got so many rotating seasonal beers. There's a winter. There's something for St. Patty's Day. There's something for the 4th of July. There's
yeah, that's what I was going to ask you.
There's got to be something for Thanksgiving, I bet.
Yeah.
You know, there's always something for Christmas.
What would you have? Yeah, what is it for Christmas? I mean, you got Halloween, you got pumpkin, what have you. So what would be in a Christmas brew?
I want to say most Christmas ales are darker. They are stouts and porters. They have similar spices, colder weather traditional spices, cinnamon, ginger.
Chestnuts roasting by an open fire.
You know, I haven't studied it that much, so...
I was just curious, not to put you on the spot, but I honestly couldn't remember what a winter, like a Christmas ale would be like.
I do know that they are dark. But quite honestly, I couldn't tell you.
Well, as we get closer, I guess we'll discover.
We will.
This has got an odd aftertaste, but it's still really good.
Yeah, I think it's in Wisconsin, so...
Maybe the pumpkins are different there.
I'm way off. Pennsylvania.
Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, they're close.
Same thing. They both touch water. Yeah, but they put different stuff in. I put cinnamon, nutmeg, and allspice in my pumpkin ale. That's what I came up with from the recipes I saw. This one has cinnamon, nutmeg, cardamom, and cloves. So it could be the cloves in the aftertaste. It's just kind of off. Not off, but off center.
Yeah, it's like you're going down. You're just kind of smoothly going down the road, and then all of a sudden, right there at the very end, it kind of goes like that. So,
could be the cloves.
Yeah, it's still good.
Tomorrow, Saturday, October 27, is the end of Atlanta Beer Week. Something that I am really bummed that I had to miss.
Atlanta Beer Week.
Atlanta Beer Week. They had something every day. Pretty much all of the breweries sponsored an event. I want to say New Belgium sponsored one. Dogfish Head sponsored one. Sierra Nevada sponsored one. But there was something from every Georgia brewery and every popular beer pub kind of venue. This is the same time of year where they do the Decatur Brew Fest. They had pub crawls, they had tastings, they had cask parties, and everything. It sounded like a lot of fun.
It does.
And I may murder his name, but Peter Buchert. Sorry.
I don't think he'll mind.
He'll probably never hear this. He's the brewmaster for New Belgium. The
guy.
The guy. He was at the Taco Mac that I had dinner at every Thursday night when I lived up there. So I was kind of mad about that. I was right down the road from work, from where I used to work.
Where you? Yeah.
Yeah. I could have seen him. I guess he spoke about something, and not really sure, but I was really bummed about that. Some other folks were there. There were representatives from Oscar Blues and other breweries at some get-togethers around the Atlanta area. Sounds like a lot of fun. I want to see if I can get up there next time. We'll probably be in class just like this time. Have something on the weekend. It'd be neat.
Yeah, not everybody can just take off Monday through Friday.
Yeah, well, professional writers who write about beer. Not me.
Or indie authors who make it. That's going to be me. Mark my words. That's me.
Well, let's have it. I mean, there's lots of people who, didn't make it for some reason in traditional publishing, and then just cleaned house with
Oh yeah.
Amazon.
Oh yeah.
So that's great.
Well, the problem now is the fact that everybody knows that.
Oh, yeah, they're getting flooded.
So now the whole damn thing is flooded, and so
Yeah.
I'm in there. I'm in there elbow to elbow with some really damn good writers trying to make my
Yeah.
mark. So we'll see.
Well, you can't not do it.
Oh no.
So-
No. I figure I'm good enough that somebody's gonna like it, and make a few $1,000s off the first one. Then that's encouraging to continue. So
Yeah, make enough money to keep going.
and be able to continue to do this.
Yeah. So you better make it so
I know.
we can keep this show
We can
up.
keep doing this.
Hope we don't have more shows like this one. This one sucks.
You heard it here first, folks. Ben said this particular episode sucks.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have told you when we began.
Which one is this?
8.
Is this number 8? Okay. So the title of this one is Been on Beer Episode 8. This one sucks. That actually might get people's attention.
I love beer. I love this season. I am not big on Halloween.
Why not?
We're
look.
traditionals. We like Christmas, Thanksgiving, and stuff.
The thing is about Halloween is I don't necessarily like it because of all the trick-or-treating and all of that. But like I've explained to my wife, it's the mystique of the idea of Halloween. The whole pumpkin, the black cat, the witch, the spooky cemetery with the either the full moon or the half full moon, the howling wolves. I mean, there's just something about that I like. Now, I mean, I'm not going out in the backyard and howling at the moon. Well, depends.
I wouldn't put it past you.
I've done it before. But no, I like it, but I like Christmas also. The only thing about Thanksgiving is I like the food.
The food, the family.
Mm.
The family's always nice.
Since we moved over here, we haven't had a family Thanksgiving beyond my immediate family, the family that I live with, the 5 of us here. So,
my wife's family in North Carolina, they do it up.
Really.
I mean, it's...
Oh, I remember the
It's,
years where we would go and it'd be like, oh my God, how many damn plates of stuff can I get? I mean,
Oh yeah, the food is plentiful. The house is loud. The kids running around.
Yeah.
and
and you always had that one little table over here. This is the kids' table.
yeah,
Everybody sit over here.
yeah. This tiny little table,
Yeah.
all the kids sit. And somebody
And-
spills something. Somebody falls out of a chair.
And if
And
you
it's
happen to
just-
be at that age where you're in between, it's like, I don't want to sit at the kids' table. I want to sit at the adults' table. Well, there's no room. Go sit your
Yeah.
ass down at the kids' table.
Yeah, but Halloween is, I don't know. It doesn't have the whole. I mean, traditionally, I went trick or treating, and when that was over, Halloween's kind of nah anymore.
Well,
I don't have anything that I'd rather keep from my experience.
no ghost stories or anything like that.
Not really.
See, I'm actually planning next Wednesday, probably around 7:00. If I do this, I'm gonna go on the air and actually just ask people to call in and tell me about any kind of ghost stories that they know about or
That'd be cool.
experiences they've had or anything like that. Considering Wednesday is Halloween.
Yeah. And I think part of it that spoiled it for me is the same thing that, I don't like Valentine's Day anymore for this reason, is the commercialization of it.
That's true, but dude, there's nothing more commercialized than Christmas.
Well, yeah, but Christmas has always been like the most important holiday. And so I've got the memories, the tradition of those.
Yeah, me too.
And we can try to ignore the commercialization. But for something that wasn't really, like we planned for Christmas, we waited on Christmas, the cold weather, the the new foods, the coats, and
Hey,
everything
the
about
Sears and Roebuck Christmas catalog.
No, not so much. For me, anyway.
For me, that was it. I mean, got that thing in August.
Halloween just showed up and we went trick-or-treating and it was over.
I only did that once.
There was no leading up to, and
Mm-hmm.
of course, my family was big in the church, so the church got Christmas all going. And again, that's just my experience.
Yeah.
Some people might have, done a whole month worth of Halloween and no Christmas.
I doubt that.
Some families, you never know.
I don't. Maybe the Munsters.
The Addams family.
The Addams family. Anyway, but yeah, I know what you're saying. It's a day.
It's a day. It's an evening.
It's an evening, and I really, like I said, I just like the whole concept or the idea of Halloween. Just like I love the idea and the concept of Christmas. I mean, my wife and I have had that conversation. We haven't put a Christmas tree up since we moved here. And I don't put a Christmas tree up for the reasons that, 60% of the American population probably puts it up. But I remember what it was like growing up, that season, that feeling of everything's right in the world for at least 30 frickin' days.
Yeah.
Damn near it, okay?
Yeah, a lot of people get along.
A lot of people get along. There's a lot of goodwill toward men, not to be so cliche.
Well,
but,
yeah. But I think the family comes closer together because you're inside more because it's cold as shit outside.
Not in South Georgia. Not anymore.
I mean, comparatively cold as shit. I mean, it's 110 with 99% humidity versus
50.
Oh, shoot, it gets 40 degrees and we're...
Yeah, that's true, yeah. About like those folks up in New York, whenever they hit 85, it's a freaking heat wave.
Yeah.
We're like, really? You pansies?
But we are never digging our cars out of the snow.
True. That's true.
And getting the cars flipped over by snow plows.
They could turn around and look at us, and when we're down here going, and it's 45, and it's like, you pansies.
Just standing there in flip-flops going, what are you guys doing?
What's wrong with you?
You guys is crazy.
Oh, very true.
While I was at Momo's, they had one of these magazines on every table.
Mm-hmm.
And I had looked, I guess years ago, for brewing news or something like that. And I came across this website, and it just kind of looked like a, not a very high quality website. It just offered papers and stuff. And but I found this Southern Brew News that's got brewing and beer news from Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, the Carolinas, Florida, and Louisiana. So basically the South.
Well, hang on. Wow. That's real paper.
It's actual paper. It is.
That's what I imagine in 2080. People will go,
going,
what is this?
Yeah, like some Soylent Green with it. It's real meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actual beef. It's all recycled paper, so I guess that's good.
Hey, that's good.
Anyway, it's got news and brewery listings, brew pub listings, I think maybe brew store listings for all these states.
Mm-hmm.
Fine bars, good beer stores, and homebrew shops. And one thing that I noticed was Georgia. Yes, they're numbered. Good, I don't have to count them. 17 breweries in Georgia.
Really?
That counts brew pubs. And
nice.
I think it's worth it to read them off.
Okay, go for
me
it.
Being in Georgia and all. 5 Seasons North. Okay, so they're going to count all 3 locations of 5 Seasons Brew Pub. 5 Seasons North. Copper Creek. That's in Athens. Terrapin Beer Company, obviously. That's in Athens. Red Brick. I already knew that one. They make an awesome chocolate porter, I think, that I've never seen again. I wish they'd get it back.
It was
5
awesome, but
Seasons.
you've never seen it again. Okay.
It was great when I had it, but I have not been able to find it again. Five Seasons Prado, and that's a Prado shopping center in North Atlanta. Five Seasons West Side, that's where I rode my bike 17 miles downtown and had a beer. I was on my way to a bookstore too, and I had a lot of time to kill. Gordon Biersch, not really sure where that is. Peachtree Street Northeast, probably in the, that's only 848. Yeah, that's in the downtown area. Max Lagers, that's 320 Peachtree. That's downtown, obviously. Park Tavern on 10th Street, also downtown. Sweetwater, that is Midtown, I think. Yeah, it's north of downtown. Wrecking Bar Brew Pub.
Wrecking Bar.
On Moreland Avenue. Cannon Brew Pub, and that's in Columbus, and that's the one I want to go to. That's got a military theme, and
oh wow!
They opened up in.
We've got everything up here, and then it's like shink over here.
Down here in Columbus.
We don't have anything down here.
Nothing. Well, there's Savannah. That's it. I mean,
we need something down here, dude.
We need some investors. I want to put one in Valdosta.
That would be awesome.
Dahlonega Brewing, way up in Dahlonega. Twain's Billiards. Jailhouse Brewing Company, they're down in Hampton. They're south of Atlanta. Built in an old jailhouse. Red Hair Brewing Company, and that's in Marietta. And Moon River, which is, I went to Moon River.
Is that the one in Savannah?
Yeah, that's on Bay Street in Savannah. Really good stuff. Apparently, they open at Cask Ale every Thursday. I've read that somewhere.
Savannah, the place that you can't get to from here.
Yeah. Okay. There aren't many places you can get to from here. So that was 17. Now, I immediately compared it to the beer capital of the East Coast, which is North Carolina, where you find, and of course this doesn't list every single one of them. This is just the ones they know about, apparently. So it could be more than, how many did I say there was?
17. In Georgia? 17 in Georgia, yeah.
In North Carolina, there are 56.
Wow.
I will spare the listener and not read the list.
Thank you. Spare me. Hell.
And of course, there are states worse off. Alabama, 7.
That's what you were going to say. 1.
Hold your horses. Mississippi, 1.
Oh. Wow.
Lazy Magnolia Brewing, and they had an event, or they sponsored an event or two at the Atlanta Beer Week.
Now, haven't some laws changed in Mississippi? Didn't we cover that?
They did change a few laws and allowed higher alcohol content.
Yeah,
so
that's
there could be more brewers opening.
Yeah, that's right.
But I don't know. And again, that's only listed. There could be 3 in Mississippi.
Oh, God. There could be 3.
Yeah. There are 54 in Florida.
That's 4.
54 in Florida. And that's mostly brew pubs, I bet. Tennessee has 16 of them listed.
You know what? We don't need investors. All we need to do is we need a woman, and
where's this going?
she gets a small business loan because women are in the minority. She'll get it better than we will.
I know a woman.
I know one too.
What if you get a pair of women?
How about a gaggle?
A gaggle? What is a gaggle?
It's not a Google. But anyway, no, seriously, it's something to really think about.
Perhaps.
I can do PR because I don't know shit about brewing.
Well, that's all I wanted to do. I mean, you have to have a restaurant part too, and that's something I don't want to do. Anyway, you can find Southern Brew News at brewingnews.com. They have a publication for each region of the United States. But Southern Brew News is, I think you can subscribe. I'm not really sure how. There's a link on the site.
So they're not going to go the way of Newsweek, which is effective January 2013. Digital only.
Wow.
No longer doing print.
I doubt it. Most of the most of their distribution is on the tables of brew pubs, good beer stores,
Yeah.
stuff like that. They don't really have a huge digital audience. Although Brew Your Own magazine has moved a lot of people to digital.
Well, how about they sponsor this show, and we'll hawk the hell out of their little magazine here.
Yeah, but who in this area is going to read it? I'm not saying
that's up to us.
I have considered a homebrew store in
Valdosta.
In Valdosta, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, outside of Tallahassee, there's no other closer.
Do I
place.
need to move to Valdosta? Am I in the wrong damn city?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, try to get a beer on Sunday here.
No.
Anywhere. In a glass, in a package, and...
Well, if someone will give me $200,000 for my house, they can have it. I'll move.
This is a nice, quiet city. And this is a quiet part of a quiet city. Here.
And we have very good internet access. So, I should know. I used to run the company that provides it. But this was a really good beer. Oh, I hope I didn't derail you too much, but the article that I sent you earlier today.
Oh, yes. About AB InBev.
Yeah.
We talked about the history. And what I found out and did not know was it is mainly Brazilian controlled.
I know. Well, the dude who's the CEO is from Brazil.
Well, it's nothing against him, but
No.
I thought it's like a strictly European thing, but apparently the I forget the names, but that's about 5 different names in AB InBev that have just gotten together.
Yeah. Well, you had InBev who turned around and actually, and I didn't know this, but they did a hostile takeover of Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah, of Anheuser-Busch, yeah.
And so that's how you became AB InBev.
Yep. That was the big news back in...
Was it 05?
Something like that, yeah.
And but the way the article started off was it was talking about this guy who, now I personally have never had Beck's.
I've had Beck's.
I don't know what it tastes like.
It probably tastes like shit now.
But it was a beer that was brewed in Germany, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the guy really loved it. So this is like 20 years ago, I guess, and then because he's around 52 or whatever. So he's driving home one afternoon or one evening, and he stops by and he picks up either a 6-pack or a 12-pack or whatever. And when he gets home and he cracks the top of it and he starts drinking it, he realizes, this
is different than the Beck's that I had years ago, yeah.
Come to find out, it's no longer imported. It's actually made in the United States.
In St. Louis.
Even though AB InBev claims that they are using the same ingredients in the same recipe.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
I do not think the Germans used corn or rice in Beck's or hop extract.
What was it that
or shitty St. Louis water?
I cannot pronounce it, but it was the type of hops, the
Hallertau?
Yeah. They're claiming that they're still using that, but according to the article, the one place that they were buying that from...
Yeah, the farms have really dried up.
Yeah, they're not... And, of course, AB InBev came back and said, well, that's because we've got such a surplus. And then someone...
No, you've got jars of extract around.
Yeah.
That's what they've been buying.
Someone who didn't want to be named said, that's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And...
they're using...
they don't even buy the whole rice anymore. They said that they for the rice beer. They said, "Who cares?"
Anheuser said we use whole grain rice.
Yeah,
it's a top quality product and this and that. And I mean, I honestly don't know what the difference is, but they're using whatever they can get.
Yeah,
we'll take the broken pieces.
Yeah, all in the name of
money.
Now, if you step back and you look at the fact that this CEO, and there again, not going to ding him for his nationality or anything about him because he has a tendency. I mean, he stays under the radar. He won't go out. He won't do press events and stuff like that. But if you look at a guy whose sole purpose is to do nothing but make a frickin' profit for a corporation, this sumbitch is your guy.
Yeah, he's your guy.
He is definitely your guy.
You just don't want his beer.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
He's not a brewer. He's an MBA from Stanford.
It's amazing that they said that Bud Light, even though it's still the #1 light beer in the United States, the sales have slipped like 20+%. Beck's has basically just gone off the chart, and they are looking. Correct me if I'm wrong. Either they're going to, or they did buy the parent company of Corona.
Oh, they
did.
They gobbled up Corona and
so now
Modelo.
Okay, so now their primary brands are Budweiser, Corona, and then the that third one, but not Beck's. They said Beck's is no longer on the radar.
Bass, was it? Was
No,
it Bass? Bass and
something
Beck's.
Artus.
Oh, Stella Artois.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. That is disappointing too.
Yeah.
That was a good.
And they're looking at what's the they don't own Coors yet.
No,
but they're looking at
they
it.
They are. There's speculation that they would buy PepsiCo.
Which owns it?
No. Pepsi's just Pepsi.
Pepsi, yeah.
But SAB Miller would be, or what they call Miller Coors, which would make them the. I don't know.
Well, they'd have a monopoly.
Well, yeah, it would. There's only one other one. Shit. It's Molson Coors, SAB Miller. But Miller and Coors, I don't know. It's a really crazy relationship.
It's messed up.
It is. But the AB InBev already has, what they say, 200 different beers around the globe.
And they really weren't concentrating on the U.S. They said that they get better sales abroad than they do here. And this is what I thought was funny. They said that essentially they're saying Asians, and I don't mean to be culturally insensitive, but this is what they said.
It sells better.
Asians like lighter beer.
Yeah.
So, in other words, what they're telling me is they like water with a hint of alcohol.
Yeah, basically. Made with broken rice. Inferior product.
God. We're so going to hell.
They closed down a 225-year-old Boddington's brewery.
Yeah.
And Boddington's was one of my favorite beers to drink.
Didn't they bring it back? Yeah, but didn't they actually have to open that one back up?
Yeah. And they still closed the original Beck's brewery.
Yep.
They've really, they laid off 1,600 people when they took over Budweiser.
Like I said, if you look at it from a purely economic business development, I'm making you a profit.
Yeah, it was.
The dude is great, but if you look at it as an icon of, I like this product, I enjoy this product, this is the product I grew up with, this is the taste I grew up with. No.
Not it.
It's not it.
The Bud Light Platinum was put out because of the higher alcohol content, and they were going after some kind of different market. 6% alcohol, woo, heavy, and you look at the review that I put out. It's this color.
Yeah.
It is white. It is clear.
Well, they've recently launched a new beer that is supposed to be like something connected with tequila, but then it was like, tequila, lemon, limeade, whatever. But then they were like, well, they killed a thing 2 years ago, and they were like tequila, and they were like, well, we learned our lesson. We know what we did wrong then. This is going to be better.
And it's aimed at women.
Yeah.
Be careful, women. Stick to
tequila makes your clothes fall off. So, but this beer won't do it.
Let's stick to Stone Brewing, Dogfish Head, New Belgium,
or go to Hard Liquor,
Sweetwater. Don't go to Hard Liquor. This is a beer show.
I'm just saying. I said that because of the one guy that said he no longer drank any of it because of his relationship or what have you, and he had actually turned into a bourbon guy, and he said, "Oh yeah, I've lost weight." I'm like, how?
That
If
was
you're
that-
drinking bourbon.
That was that former executive, wasn't it?
Yeah. I don't see how you were losing weight if you're drinking bourbon.
Yeah. And if you want to know more about the beer, our view on the, or my view anyway,
Yeah,
on
your view.
the beer market, watch a movie or a documentary called Beer Wars. It's on Netflix streaming, and I don't know, go to beerwarsmovie.com and you can find all the other formats. Very interesting insight. It's biased. It's it's one-sided, but whatever. You're going up against giants, so that's it.
There be whales here.
I do want to. If I've got something with me that I thought I should bring, and if I did in fact bring it, I'll bring it up. Hang on. It has to do with big beer companies and small beer companies.
Well,
Months ago, I was on I didn't participate, but I watched a Google Hangout, and I do have it with.
I remember that.
I think it was Jim from Victory,
Mm-hmm.
Greg Cook from Stone, and Sam Calagione from Dogfish Head. They had done a collaborative beer. Now I saw the name of it today and I can't remember. Anyway, they were talking about the collaboration effort and being at all three breweries, and then they each tasted all three renditions of this one beer made at each brewery. They talked about the differences and this and that, but during the whole thing, you get such a personal view of, or a personal insight to them.
Mm-hmm.
I think Greg was at a brew pub on his computer there, and you could see people behind him. And Sam was at home, and Jim from Victory didn't make it. He had technical difficulties and couldn't get on the Hangout. And the whole thing was hosted by Will Wheaton.
Good old Will.
So it was Will and Sam and Greg. Here I am leaning on this thing.
Yeah, it's going through the wall.
That's
there
all
we
right.
go.
But you get this personal feel for these. I mean, these are the founders of breweries,
Mm-hmm.
of very popular and getting to be old and established household name kind of things.
Right.
And these guys are the proprietors.
Mm-hmm.
They risked everything to create what they did, and they were successful. So they're kind of my heroes, and I get to just see them. They're talking candidly, right? And I guess before the Hangout, Sam and Greg had gotten together and were talking. But during the Hangout, Greg asked Sam about something about whether he's what kind of shorts he had on or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Sam's sitting there, you could see him from chest up, and he goes, "Guess what percentage of pants I'm wearing right now?" Apparently he wasn't wearing pants. So there he is in front of the whole world in his underwear, and you just get a personal feel, right? And sometimes Sam answers the phone at the brewery. My heroes, the celebrities, just at a personal level.
Not wearing pants.
Yeah, you'll never get the CEO of InBev on the phone.
Well, hell,
Right.
you're not going to get Bomber at Microsoft to answer the
Exactly.
phone.
Exactly. But I've, if anybody keeps up with my tweets, I checked into a Harvest Pumpkin Ale from Sam Adams a couple of weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and didn't really like it. I was surprised that I didn't like it. Wasn't much pumpkin. It tasted under-attenuated, like it hadn't finished fermenting. Sour, astringent. It was just kind of
From Sam Adams.
unpleasant. Yes,
Really?
unpleasant. And come to think of it, there was another beer in that Brewmaster's pack called Hazel Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really like that one either. But this pumpkin ale just went flat. It looked, and so I took a picture of it and I tweeted, "This went flat really fast."
Mm-hmm.
And so Sam Adams Beer responded, said, "Here, go to this link and fill out this form." And so it was their customer complaint form. So I
Mhm.
did, and I tweeted back, it's all done. No worries. I just gonna let you know about it. Here we go. So next day, maybe 2 days later, I get a response from some outsourced kind of customer relations, and it could have been American. I'm not saying outsourced, but
Right.
external to Sam Adams or
Right.
Boston Beer. This customer service company goes, you provided enough information. I don't need anything else from you. A refund check's on the way. And I was thinking two things. One, how much is the check going to be since it was one beer out of a 12-pack? And two, why is that an answer to my complaint? It's just immediately refunded.
Give you some money.
So I just shot an email back. Whoever it came from got my message, and I don't have it here to read, but it basically said, thanks, but I really wanted to just let Sam Adams, let Boston Beer know about this, and I really wanted to know whether the brewmaster meant for it to taste that way or if there was really something wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested in the beer business. I have a genuine interest in what this is.
Right.
What the problem is and this and that. And so I got no response. I was very surprised that I didn't get any response at all. And I was getting ready to just blast them on Twitter and write a post and tell all about it. But I was like, I'll just wait till this refund check comes, and then I'll have the whole story.
Mm-hmm.
And I can actually tell them, how much the check was, and then I got no response. Well, I got the check. The check was for $10. $10 for a beer.
That's a little more than a single beer.
Well, I think the assumption was that I bought a six-pack. Typically, a six-pack
About
is
$10.
around $10
Yeah.
for quality beer, The check had an original signature on it. And it wasn't the comptroller or something. It was Jim Cook signed the check. And Jim Cook, I'm not sure if he wrote it or what, but wrote a letter explaining what probably happened in my situation. Not just a general cover letter saying, we're sorry you were disappointed. We hope you try Sam Adams again. But it's, Dear Benjamin, we are sorry to hear that you were disappointed with the Samuel Adams Harvest Pumpkin Ale you purchased, but are gracious that you brought it to our attention. You mentioned that you were displeased with the flavor. Hopefully we can explain why this might have happened. As far as the flavor is concerned, heat and storage in the market can easily change the character of an all-natural beer like Sam Adams. Incorrect storage at the distributor, on a truck or a retailer, can affect beer, and heat may have accelerated the aging process in our beer in the absence of preservatives. They don't pasteurize, they don't put any preservatives in, which is, I always wondered about Sam Adams because they distribute nationally.
Yeah.
Because we are vitally concerned with the freshness of our beer, it is rare to find old Samuel Adams brews on the shelves. We notch freshness codes on our beers so you know when they will no longer taste fresh. In hopes outdated beer will not reach our drinkers, our brewery reps, and even our office employees check freshness dates constantly so we can buy back and destroy outdated beer from the market. I want to thank you again for bringing this matter to my attention. Along with my apologies, I am sending you a refund. I hope that you will give Samuel Adams beer another chance. And this is an original signature by Jim Cook, the founder of Boston Beer Company. I looked at the back. It's actually imprinted.
Yeah, he actually signed it.
Yeah, it's not just a blue ink
Yeah.
change. It's a signature. And it's a different signature it was a different signature on the check. So it wasn't that it's like the same signature image.
Right. It wasn't a stamp or anything.
It's a
Yeah. Now that
left his desk.
that's a
I'm
company
guessing.
that you can get behind.
Yeah, and you'll never get a personal thing from the CEO, the founder of the company, from any other type of company bigger than that.
Mm-mm.
They produce 1.2, 1.4 million barrels of beer every year, maybe more now. They were founded in 83-ish.
Mhm.
So he's been around for almost 30 years, and
Yeah.
he's an icon.
And he's doing
He
that.
sent me a letter.
Yeah. That is awesome.
And I'm not saying he, took time out of his day to type that letter up,
Well-
like he's lost sleep over it. But
Yeah,
I'm saying a
but-
personal signature says a lot,
Yeah, it does.
even if it could have been his secretary forging it. Still.
Made you feel good, though.
Made me feel good. I'm going to go ahead and believe that that's left his desk,
Yeah.
the guy on the commercial. So, having that personal contact with a company says a lot.
Yeah, it does.
That they care about the product, they care about their customers,
Mm-hmm.
and more than the bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
So, they are one of the very few craft beer companies that has gone public.
Yeah.
And I do not own Boston Beer Company. So,
No stock in it, huh?
no stock yet. I mean,
I was going to say, that may change.
I do plan to invest, but, now's not the time.
Got any Facebook?
Huh?
Facebook stock?
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Who would? That's just a funny one.
Yep. It is.
Well, I got nothing else. I mean, I that was an interesting experience to have. It's not like there was a printed,
Mm-hmm.
like you call Scottrade and you draw money out of your brokerage account. You get this check in the mail and it's just got this computerized signature, void after 90 days and whatnot. But he signs all the refund checks.
Nice.
A check for $10 and
Yeah.
goes through him.
I imagine that's part of his routine, gets in the office. Okay.
Sir, I
from
have your refund checks.
9 to 10, you got to sign 10 to 11, you got to
Yeah.
write letters. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I could see that.
But, not knocking it.
Oh, hell no.
They haven't lost a customer. Even if he hadn't sent me anything like that, probably still wouldn't have lost a customer. Latitude 48 is always a safe bet. And, of course, the Boston Ale, Boston Lager.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But that's it. I hope I provided something for you on this show. Sheesh.
Yeah, the whole time. No.
Yeah, I can't drink and I'm exhausted. But I'll still be here as long as the knife doesn't slip.
There you go. Huh?
All right, where's my parting notes?
They're on a piece of paper.
On a piece of paper. All I want to say is keep up with the show and the blog as I can get to it at bitonbeer.com. If you have any messages that you want to scream at us for having a sucky show today, leave a voicemail at 313-718-2557.
Do I need to raise
if you would like to... Well, the table's in the way now.
Yeah, I know.
If you would like to sponsor the show, send me a 20, anything like that. Send an email to info@anairo.com. That's ANAIRO.com.
That works.
Don't drink and drive. Be responsible. Try making beer. Anybody can do it. Even you.
If he can do it.
If you're 21 or over. I think there's a law about that too somewhere.
What if you're like 19 or 20 and you're doing it with your dad?
You can help. You can help. I think the consumption thing is out for the
As long as they're in
youngsters.
my house, they can consume it. As long as they're not, at 6 or something.
Yeah. Be responsible. Do the right thing. And have a good couple of weeks.
That works.
We're out.
We're done. All right. See ya.
This has been a presentation of the Anero Media Network, your reality distorted.